Hello, my friends. Welcome to episode 5 of Running Reunion, this special series we are doing as part of the Running for Real podcast. Thank you for joining me today. These are intended to be short, sweet, to the point, hopefully motivating and uplifting episodes where we get to check in with some of our previous guests. And today we have someone who is a fan favorite for sure, for her relaxed mindset, frankly, what she's been able to do, absolutely just crushing it in every race that she does, really. Although you will hear that sometimes things don't go according to plan, and that's life. But I know she is very much admired by myself and many others. So without any further ado, let's go to this catch up with Courtney Dauwalter. Thank you to UCAN for sponsoring this episode of Running Reunion for the Running for Real podcast. I am proud and excited to have been working with UCAN since 2012. It is my favorite go-to fuel and source. I have been using it in races for many years, and I was very excited last year when they came out with UCAN Edge. Now, it's not just me who loves UCAN Edge. UCAN Edge was voted by Runner's World as one of the best foods to eat during a run. It has these slower acting carbs that are easier to digest and will keep your blood sugar levels stable. Now, UCAN Edge comes in strawberry, banana, and orange flavors. It's this in this convenient portable pouch that is going to put super starch in your hand. It is what I'm going to be using in all my races upcoming. It has this delicious fruit flavor. It goes down really easy. It's really easy to enjoy, and it's going to mean you have no spikes, no crash. It's also trusted by the pros like Sarah Hall and Emma Bates. Emily Sisson all use UCAN for their races. So thank you again to UCAN for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. You can use code TINAUCAN. That's Tina UCAN at ucan.co to go get yourself 20% off there. That's code Tina UCAN at ucan.co. Courtney, welcome to Running Reunion. Welcome back to the Running for Real podcast. I am very excited you are here. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. I'm so glad to see your face and hear your voice again.
I know. I like it that you and I both have the. I feel like a lot of people when they come on these podcasts, they are like wearing. They've like got themselves all dressed up and they've done their hair all nice. And I'm like, you're making me feel like I'm just like, a normal person here and you're like a superstar. And so I love that you and I are both here casually with our hair up in buns. I'm still actually wearing my pajamas. It's 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon.
That's perfect.
But it's been one of those days, as I've told you. So,
well, I'm always happy to show up in the most casual outfit.
Yes.
So
and I love that
fancy.
about you. I love that about you. You are 100% you, and it has inspired so many others to be that way, like themselves too. So thank you for that. Okay, for those who don't know, and this is going to be interesting to hear what you say here. For those of you who have lived under a rock and don't know who you are or haven't, the last time you were on the show was June 2018. That's actually quite surprising to me that it's been almost 4 years. What would you say? Who are you and where does your passion lie?
My name is Courtney Dauwalter and my passions lie in exploring with my feet and seeing what's possible when our brains and bodies are working together, and in hanging out with the people that I love.
Oh, I love that. That's always the most important thing, right? No matter what, even all the exploring we can do in the world, we still need those people we love. And your feet have done a lot of exploring around the world and in a very fast way too. So thank you for sharing that. And the second question I like to ask everyone on this podcast is, how are you really? So you can be like, good, on to the next one. But I'd love to hear a little bit more.
Yeah. I'm a little sleepy, but I, in this past week, have been, feeling like a little extra pep in my step because of the spring weather, I think.
Yes.
Like when the sun's shining and the snow is melting, so everything is just pouring water off of it, and you're starting to see like little patches of mud. I don't know. It's just given me like a little boost. Like I'm really excited for spring and then for summer. And this week is making me feel that excitement.
That's so good to hear. So you do, because you always seem like a bubbly, upbeat, kind of look at the brighter side of life. What, am I messing up that phrase? Kind of person. But do you feel that in the winter as well? Kind of a bit like pulled down, weighed down just by the, you know, the weather, really?
I think it can for sure for anybody. I mean, when it's not, I think it just makes everything requires a few more steps to it. Like going outside, you have to think a little more about what you're putting on, or, you know, you can't just like throw on shoes and head out the door and be on a great adventure. So I think that part just becomes like, I don't know, you just miss the simplicity of warmer weather and dry terrain and stuff like that.
I do think about that when people give the suggestion of like, you know, if you're unmotivated to run, just get out for 10 minutes. Or when people say they're doing a run streak and they make sure they do a mile, like that thought in the winter does come across my head of like, that's a lot of work to go out for 10 minutes. Like, because like you said, you have to get all these layers on. You have to find, am I this level of glove or this level of glove? Am I wearing a hat or not wearing a hat? Is it raining or is it not? Is it raining to where it's going to get me really good? Like, so I do think about that a lot, that there's something that's so nice about being able to put on like a sports bra, a tank and a pair of shorts and head out the door. Yeah. Or, you know, the male equivalent. But, I do think about that a lot. So I love that you shared that. And also one more thing. So you saying you have an extra pep in your step, when you immediately said that, I kind of almost like jumped a little bit, because there is no denying that there's a lot of struggle and pain and just kind of turmoil going on in our world right now. And I personally, I've mentioned this, you know, out publicly, that I've found it very hard these last few months in particular to keep feeling optimistic about things. Is there something, I mean, as you said, the spring is one way, but is there something else you've been using to kind of, remove yourself from all the tough stuff that's going on? Yeah,
it's really hard. And it's like, how much should we remove ourselves, or, you know, keep reading the news and knowing and being educated on what's going on? But running for me is that space where, you know, it's peaceful. My brain can do whatever it needs to do, whether that's thinking or not thinking. I always, after moving, feel like I feel better, you know? So, it has been just getting out and, moving with my body and, soaking in the sunshine and breathing the fresh air.
Yeah. Well, that's one nice thing about winter, right? The air is fresh.
Oh, it feels fresh.
Sometimes a little too fresh, but thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. What is something that made you smile today?
Today, we have a run club in town, and it meets every week, really early in the mornings. But we met up with the run club today and got to share our morning run. We saw the sunrise together, and I don't know, it's just like a really cool thing that brings people together. And everyone has these busy lives and busy days afterwards, but during that run, you know, it can be just so simple of running and sharing this moment and maybe grabbing a coffee after, and then everyone, you know, scurrying off to their work day. So that was cool. That definitely made me smile this morning.
Yeah. Beautiful way to start the day. And where is, for someone who may not know, where is your run club?
I live in Leadville, Colorado. So we have a run club here in town.
I would imagine most people who live in Leadville already are well aware of who you are and are well aware of this run club. But just in case there was someone out there who was moving there, I thought I would mention that.
Yeah, what has been? Come on, it's a great club.
I mean, if I was there, I would absolutely love to start the morning with you as many times as I could. So maybe someday I'll come visit.
Yeah, come on.
What's been a few of your favorite high moments? could do since June 2018, or you could just do in the recent year, whatever feels right to you. What's been a high moment or a few you'd like to share?
I think, lately the highest moments have been traveling again and being able to see family, spend time with people who I had just seen over Zoom for, a year or a year and a half or whatever it was. So I got to see my parents and, my nieces and nephews and my brothers. So that is definitely a high point in the last year.
For sure. Thank you so much. And give us one then that is potentially a bit further back, if there's one that comes to mind.
I don't know. I don't know that I try to categorize moments in a ranking.
Explain.
I don't know. People are always like, what's the favorite race you've ever done, or your favorite run you've ever done, or favorite, whatever moment. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think there's moments within all of those that were my favorite of that, but I don't like rank them against each other. It's like trying to find the special or the cool or the memorable part of each thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what, before we started recording, you and I were talking about the fact that the whole point of this podcast is to say there's little things in life every day if we want them, but every race for sure, every moment, not every moment, I shouldn't say that, but there's beauty and joy in everything. And if we get too caught up on the real highs, then we start to lose the ability to appreciate the little moments along the way. So thank you for sharing that. What would you like to remind everyone listening to this today?
I would like to remind everyone that we are capable of more than we think, for sure. And we can all, raise our own bar a little bit and strive for that, because it's totally doable. I also, I don't know, like smiling at someone is so easy, but it can totally change another person's day, or telling a joke, or even like holding a door open, I think can just like change, the trajectory of someone's day to better. And I think that's a pretty cool and easy thing to do. And probably also that it is Easter season, which means that it is jelly bean season in the grocery stores. And that's the greatest candy season of all, right?
Are we talking about the big jelly? Which jelly beans? You're not talking about Jelly Belly, I'm assuming. We're talking about the big old.
Yeah, the cool part this time of year is basically every company has a jelly bean. So there's like 10 times more options than normal of jelly beans. And we should take advantage of that. And so if you were to rank,
will you allow me to, you won't rank your high moments, but will you rank the jelly beans and tell us which the best ones are?
Oh, man.
Because I'm curious what you say, because I have an answer.
So the unique ones that only come out this time of year, Laffy Taffy puts out a jelly bean. So it's all the Laffy Taffy flavors in.
They taste like actually like Laffy Taffies?
Yeah, like the banana.
Okay. But they are jelly beans.
They're jelly beans. They're really good. And I love the old school big ones, like the Brock's.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, those are my favorite.
I love those ones. And those are in abundance right now at the stores. Yeah. So.
Okay, and what color within those? I have to ask. Which color?
All
of them? Even the black one?
I like the black ones.
Okay. I don't mind licorice, but some people, I know some people really cannot understand the flavor of licorice, but I don't mind it. It's not my favorite, but it's so fine. Okay. Thank you for entertaining me there with that. And beyond jelly bean season, those were actually really amazing points for us to think about and reflect. And just following up on the first part of you saying we can do more than we're capable of. Often when people like you or like myself might say something like that, someone listening might think, okay, I understand that, but how do I know? How do I find where that line is? How do I where do I even begin? Do you have any thoughts on that as someone who has shattered their own not expectations, but shattered their own and other people's barriers time and time again?
I think like if it sounds scary and hard, I think that's the thing that's worth trying. Because why not? I mean, if you fall a little bit short of it because you set your bar too high, then you've still done something amazing. And like for me, for sure, running keeps reiterating like the thing I think is too scary and hard, I can get to that eventually if I keep on working at it. And then suddenly there's the next thing that's too scary and hard. Like, you know, running 10 miles used to be like really scary and I didn't know if I could make it. And then once I did, it was like, okay, where's the next thing that I should try that sounds too scary right now? Or like my legs will shatter.
Do you actually have that fear? Or is that just because I mean, who knows? With runners, we can shatter our bones by that is actually.
I think it's just sometimes the feeling of like it's that painful feeling when you are running longer than you ever have. Sometimes just feels like that, but
no, okay. That makes sense. Thank you. Don't worry, I wasn't expecting you to actually say you're like, please don't shatter bones, stay together. I hope no one ever has to experience that ever again, ever in their lives. Anyone listening to this. Okay, Courtney, where can people go find you and follow along in the future if they don't already?
Instagram at Courtney Dauwalter is a great place to find me.
Okay, awesome. Well, I put links to that in the show notes. Episode 63 was Courtney's previous episode. But thank you so much for joining me and for updating us on how things have been going.
Yeah, thank you. Let's run soon.
I would love that. Hi, friends. Just a quick message to say a big thank you to the Running for Real team. While I may be the face of Running for Real and the voice behind the podcast, there are a group of people who are working tirelessly to provide everything that runners could need within our community to make our community stronger, better, and evolve and grow and learn from one another. We are working really hard to make Running for Real the place we believe it can be within our community. I just want to take a moment to thank everyone on our team. That is Victoria, Stacy, Sandy, Sally, Maria, Kelsey, Kat, Jeremy, and Erica. I appreciate each and every one of you and the hard work that you put in. Now let's get back to the show. We always learn a lot from Courtney and just has such a good approach to life. She is so positive and just makes me feel like things are okay. And I love her perspective there of just even the spring itself being a positive thing and something that we can look to lift our spirits. Thank you so much to Courtney. Thank you to you. Remember to use code TINAYOUCAN to get yourself 20% off at ucan.co. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you on Friday for a regular episode and another one of these next Wednesday.